Good morning everybody, Michael from Gippsland Scanner Feeds, just with a quick video update. For those that have been following my Facebook page at Gippsland Scanner Feeds, you may already be aware that I had issues with the server that was running the feeds into the net. The hard drive had failed and caused all sorts of grief. So I'm running currently the backup PC that I have here in storage. I use this backup computer only for backup reasons, and so it's currently has been assigned the job. The hard drive that was in the original server, I tried all the usual methods to recover the hard drive. I used freeze-on the circuit board. Sometimes you can get a dry joint on the circuit board, especially in harsh conditions like this shed where it gets very hot. So using freeze-on usually freezes the joint where the issue is, and you can quite often get a hard drive to come back to life. The other method is to completely remove this circuit board, as long as you've got a second hard drive that is the same manufacturer and size. You can pop that circuit board in, and in this case I did that as well, and still was unable to get the hard drive data. The issue was with the head. It wouldn't remove itself off the bump stop. It just kept knocking itself against the bump stop and just would not read the data at all. So the data on this hard drive at this stage is unrecoverable. So that's not a great deal, because all it was for the feeds, and it had the basic Windows operating system on it, and it had just all the feed software on there. So with that in mind, I thought that with the actual backup computer and also the main server that I had running, they run off 12 volts straight from these batteries over here, and the 12 volt supply here, or 12 volt power supply as such, then feeds the appropriate voltages into the PC motherboard, and this is just floating here. When I bought these as a kit, they don't come with a case or anything of like. There's no actual way of mounting these into the carcass of the PC frame itself. You need to make up or manufacture some sort of case for that and mount it. But I thought there has to be a better way with the main server when I get it back up and running, and so I've decided to mount the main motherboard on a bit of Chipboard that's on my wall here. So I've got the main motherboard here, and I've also mounted the actual power supply, the 12 volt power supply, to the main board as well. I've got it orientated in this direction because that's the way that I've got the cables. The cables aren't very long with this power supply. A little bit short on this one here, but if I mount the power supply up here, then it means that these cables are a little bit short. So this is where it has to be, and it works well. I've got another hard drive installed. Actually, I've got two hard drives there, one for the operating system and one for the main data. Probably not necessary, but that's basically what I've done with the backup system. So the backup system has two drives, one being the 1 terabyte hard drive that I use for data, and the SSD drive above it that I use for the operating system. Main reason why I use an SSD drive is because it has a quicker boot up time, but unfortunately SSD drives don't like having a lot of read writes to them, and they can fail quicker. So in this case, that's why I use a separate data drive for the main software to read and write, where then the operating system is free to back up on the occasion, but has less read writes, but will boot the computer up in a faster boot method. And the other idea was to actually mount the radios underneath the monitor here. I'll probably put the two scanners underneath there, which are the portable scanners. Well, one's actually a transceiver. It's scanning the airband, and then I've got another portable scanner behind here, which is the fire scanner or fire listening set. So I'll mount them over here just with a bit of Velcro, and then I'll put the two Motorola radios, the Motorola MCX 760s, underneath the MCX 760 Motorola's. I've got the police and the ambulance in them, and I also have a Realistic Pro 2010, which is monitoring the airbands, the East Sale RAF Base's weather station. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with it yet. I might be able to mount it flat over here as well. We'll see how we go. But so the idea is to try and neat and tidy the system up and have it all mounted on the chipboard there.